Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Uncle P from Super Easy Forex, and as you know, I typically like to do a Sunday video for you guys to kind of get your trading week started off in the right direction. I will say this, that for those who are part of the squad, make sure you come to class on Tuesday. I was up late last night, couldn't sleep, and I ended up doing something special for you guys that we're going to be doing in class on Tuesday. Okay, I got something special for you guys to really help you understand these markets and just how simple to use the system. So I got something for you. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're not part of the Super Easy Forex family, that's cool, but you're gonna miss out. But if you are, just make sure you come bring your hind parts to class on Tuesday. Okay? But anyway, today we're talking about fundamental analysis versus technical analysis. So this is one of those topics that early on, about a year ago, really got me burning up and irritated because a lot of people kept coming to me talking about, man, you talking all this stuff, and all it is price action is king, price action is king, and so they attack you without understanding your philosophy. So if you're a technical analysis person, cool, but if you're a fundamental analysis person, cool. See, y'all get something to write with. Get something to write with, okay? Get something to write with, because I want you guys to take down some notes as we go along to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm about to teach you, because this is where so many Forex traders are failing in this business, because they feel like you got to be one or the other. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. Better yet, let me give you a question while you're grabbing your pen and paper. And make sure to get your other people who are trying to trade in Forex, get them on right now. Get them on right now so they can learn for real, some real information for once. Okay? Scouring the internet, you got all these people showing you this and that. You need to learn some real stuff. So get them on. So here's the first question I'm going to ask you just to spark your own thinking. Think about this. If I was talking to a bank or a big institution about Forex trading, and I said, are you a technical trader or are you a fundamental trader? What do you think the banks would tell me? I'm looking at chat comments, by the way, today. If you say something crazy, I'm gonna make sure you delete it, ban, and never being able to come back to my channel. But I want to talk to you guys. What do you think the banks would tell me if I was to say, are you a technical trader only or are you a fundamental analysis trader only? What do you think the banks and institutions, the ones that really move the market, what do you think their answer would be? What do you think? Okay, somebody said banks don't give a care what makes them money. That's all they care about is what makes them money. Anybody else? Somebody, see, a bunch of you guys are getting it. A bunch of you guys are saying they do both. They do both. See, why do you have to pick sides? It's like the Crips and the Bloods up in here. Let me give you a better way of looking at it. So before we even get into the actual discussion, see, I'm already helping you to change your thinking. And that's the problem in this business. People are not thinking. They're being told what to think, but they're not thinking for themselves. So I'm helping you to learn how to think for yourself. If you're going to do this full time, I want to be a full-time trader. That's like saying I want to be a full-time truck driver, but I don't want to move no merchandise. But I like driving trucks. Okay, you can drive the truck, but you ain't gonna make no money, because as a truck driver, their job is to move inventory for somebody else. So you get the pleasure of driving that truck, but you're not getting paid to do it just because you like driving trucks. You're getting paid to move the inventory. See, you can't have one without the other. Let me give you a better example. Come on, because I'm about to step on your toes. Some of you guys went nuts, flat out nuts over this election. Because you said, oh, I'm a Democrat. Oh, I'm a Republican. So I can't stand them Democrats. Oh, I can't stand the Republicans. When in essence, after it was all said and done, and you acted a fool, and you did what you did for your party, your Crips or the Bloods. By the way, think about the Crips and the Bloods and Democrats and Republicans. What do they have in common? The same color, red and blue. So you just a political Crip and Blood, part of a gang. Because here's the problem. You trying to say one is better than the other. When the truth is, if you left it to me, I would have picked both of them. I would have had Biden as the president to talk on television, but I would have had Trump to be the person doing the money, because he does understand money, but he has a horrible personality when it comes to people skills. I would have had Biden talk to China and Iran and all these other things, but then I would have had Trump to do some other things. See, they both had brought something good to the table. But they got everybody picking one versus the other. And the same exact thing that they're doing in politics and in gangs, the same thing is going on in Forex. Oh, you got to be a technical analysis. Price action is king. Just draw up your charts and this and that. And then you still blowing up your account just like the other person. And you wonder, and here's the biggest thing when I was under that dumb philosophy. The biggest thing that irritated me about losing the trade is not the fact that I lost the trade. That's going to happen no matter what. Okay? Last week wasn't the best week, and we're going to get into that. So you're aware of what to really think, how to really think. Watch this. So when I lose a trade, I'm okay with understanding that I lost a trade. The problem I have is if I don't understand why. And that's where some of you guys are with your trading. You keep losing trades and you thinking, well, maybe I didn't do my trend lines right. Or maybe I didn't use the indicator right. Well, maybe I didn't do this or that. And bottom line is, if you're going to be a full-time trader, let me give you a big thought to pop into your head. Okay? And you can debate me, say you don't like me, give me thumbs down, all you want, and that's okay. Because this truth that I'm about to give you is not going to change a thing about it. When you trade in the stock market, watch this. When you trade in the stock market, before you place a trade on that stock, don't you need to understand a little bit of something about that stock? I have a nephew who trades Tesla all the time. He tells me in advance, oh, well, Tesla's about to come out with a new battery, so their stock is going to go up. Oh, Tesla is about to... See, he understands what? Fundamentals. The bottom of fundamentals mean foundation. He understands the foundation of what's about to make the price action move. Write that down. Fundamentals equals foundation. You understand the foundation as to why price action is about to move. You don't just sit up there and say, oh, because my trend line said so. How many times have you traded and your trend line got broken and hit your stop? Come on now. You can say you don't like me in Jesus' name. That's okay, because you know doggone well I'm telling you the truth. Because the Bible says the truth will what? Set you free. But I always said the truth will set you free if you accept it as being the truth. How many times have you sat all week long marking up your charts and you still lost because people keep telling you price action is all you need? But then when price acts a fool, like it did last week, you left wondering, what did I do wrong? And sometimes we do make mistakes with our analysis, and that's fine. But a lot of times it wasn't your analysis at all. There was a foundational problem with the trade before you even placed it. But you wasn't told about it. You didn't know about it because you don't include fundamentals, foundation. Watch what I mean. When you place a trade on the Euro USD, and I'm going to use that as an example because that's one of the most popularly traded pairs in the currency Forex market, the Euro versus the USD. Would you guys agree? Type a number 1 if you agree. I want to make sure we all walking together before I go further. I'm not going to rush through this video to just say, oh, his video's too long. If you think they're too long, then stop tuning in, because I'm here to teach you and to help you think, because we're all retail traders against the institutions. So whether you want to like me or dislike me, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, your pockets are going to either be full or they're going to be empty based off of how you think and your decisions when you sitting at that laptop, computer, or phone. So whether you want to debate or not, keep on with your debates. But the truth is going to help a lot of people be set free. That's why people are prospering in our group, because they're learning to think differently from what's being taught out there. Everybody wants a view like this. Oh, I want to live on the lake too. I want to live on the lake too. I want to live on the lake too. Okay, well, when you going to stop trying to debate people and calling everybody a doggone scam, and you slow down and say, okay, let me just hear what the man got to say and see if it's some truth. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? So let's talk back on this Euro USD and let me give you an idea in your head. Just to help you to step away this week before the markets open and to really open your eyes to what's really going on, because this is how the institutions see the market. And if you're going to be trading full time, you better understand how the institutions are seeing things, because that's the big dogs on the block who you either going against or you're riding with them. Now, here's how they see it. Going back to my nephew who makes a lot of money off of Tesla stock because he understands Tesla's foundation. He understands what's going on with Tesla before he places the trade. You understand nothing and you trading everything full force, trying to pay your bills. Here's what I mean. Last week, the dollar acted a fool. You marked up your charts. You said, okay, it should hit support and resistance, supply and demand zones, the Elliott wave theory, the market makers method, the Doncion channels, and I can go up and down the list. RSI was overbought and oversold and all these. Don't that sound familiar? Yes? Don't that sound familiar? Ain't that how Forex traders talk? But not a single person said, you know what? Oh, the US has a problem. And therefore, that's the reason why the dollar itself is going down. See, fundamentals, foundation, what is driving that dollar? What's driving it? When you place a trade on the Euro USD, let's just step away from the charts for a moment. Let's just step away from the brokers. Let's just step away from the bankers. First of all, what you're saying you're trying to be a full-time participant in is two countries' economies. The moment you place your money, a trade, onto the Euro USD, what you just said is that I understand what's going on with the European country and I understand what's going on with the US country. I understand what's driving the dollar and I understand what's driving the euro. And therefore, I believe that the euro is going to go up and the dollar is going to go down. And because here's what the foundation is. Here's the foundational problem, what's going on in them countries. Now, do you have to be an expert? No, you don't. You don't have to be an expert. One of the things I'm teaching my students is so simple. Why don't you just download the app, MyFXBook, or any of the others out there that give you the news in advance to tell you what kind of news events is coming up for the week on that currency pair. Therefore, if you're marking up your charts and things don't work out, at least you kind of know why. Maybe there was an announcement or something that happened in that country that had nothing to do with your trade. It was the country itself had something that came out. And because of what happened in that country, it affected the price action. Miss Price Action and Mr. Price Action King. You're forgetting you're trading two countries' economies. If Trump, which he did, and I'm going to go over that because it was a very rocky week last week. It wasn't the best trading week. And I didn't like it, but at least I understood why my trades didn't all work out. Some did, some didn't. But it was a very shaky week last week. And for me, I'm not comfortable with just, oh, it was just a shaky week. I want to know what, why. And I found the answer. And I'm going to share that with you so you're aware of what to think about this week when you're trading. See, fundamentals. What is driving these price actions? They don't just floating just because they're just floating. They ain't hitting the trend line just because it's hitting the trend line. There's something else going on. Warren Buffett didn't become rich because, oh, I just saw some trend lines. Oh, I just gonna drive some supply and demand. You think that's how Warren Buffett got rich? Are you freaking crazy? George Soros, one of the best currency market traders in the world. You think that's how he moves the markets? You think he became a billionaire just because, oh, I just saw the RSI was oversold and it hit my trend line? Or do you think the man knows a little something extra? Do you think the man digs a little bit deeper? And here you are trying to be like them and you wonder why you ain't going nowhere. Now let's keep going. I got a lot to share with y'all. I'm not rushing. I'm going to teach you something today. Now let's keep going. For me, I had got so frustrated with losing trades and not understanding why, I decided to indulge in both. That is the correct answer. Both. There's nothing wrong with understanding both sides of the fence. It only will make you a better trader. So drop your arrogant ways of talking about price action is king. Man, don't listen to that fool, man. He ain't nothing but a scam artist. Okay, whatever you say. And keep blowing up your account. But my question again is, why do you have to be a Crip or a Blood? Why can't you be both? Why do you have to choose red or blue when both sides got some benefits to it? And I'm a strong believer of price action. But I'm also a person who kind of looks at what's driving the market that I'm about to put my money into. Because this is common knowledge, and to hear me good, this is common knowledge when trading in the stock market. It is common knowledge that you do a little bit of research on the stock before you invest into it. But when you come to the Forex market, it's taboo. Why? Why? So let me help you out with this. Here's what actually happened last week, and I want you guys to take notes because some of you guys didn't even know this. You didn't know this. So this is why some of your trades, as did mine, did not work out. And I'm okay with that. When I lost some trades, I was okay. I didn't fall out and have a spasm like I would have in the past, because when I found out what was going on, I realized it wasn't nothing wrong with me. It wasn't nothing wrong with the system. It wasn't nothing wrong with my strategies. It wasn't nothing wrong with my analysis. There was something else bigger going on behind the scenes. And here's a few things that maybe some of you guys didn't know that was actually causing the market. Because if you look, and I meant to do this video upstairs where I can show you the charts, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the sunshine today. So y'all just check your own charts. If your broker has the S&P 500, the US 30, or any of those indices, look on your own charts. Then you want to check the USD on your own charts. All this stuff is right there. You know, a matter of fact, I'm actually, you know what, God, thank you. It's a blessing that I'm not on my charts, because people be thinking, oh, he making up these charts. Like I can fabricate charts. Oh my God. I mean, some dumb people in this world. But that's okay. The point is, when I'm done with this video, you go to your own charts and you tell me if you didn't see this. The NZD kept on going up, but they just had an NZD election, and they had interest rates the week before that was announced. The US dollar is dropping. Here's the reason why. Multiple reasons why the market was on shaky ground last week. And if you look at the charts on a higher time frame, like the 1 hour, 4 hour, you will see what I'm saying. A lot of pairs, and even the 30-minute, a lot of pairs was just moving sideways, or they was just blipping around. They didn't do a whole lot, or they was just real sketchy. Here's what actually happened. What happened was, and I'm gonna go down the list. Number one, the Trump threatened to pull out troops out of Iran. That was number one. His own general said, don't do that. But here's what he did further. And again, I ain't for him or against him, so don't blow me up talking about you a Trump hater. I vote for myself. Okay, so miss me with all the politics, because again, I ain't for Joe Biden, I ain't for Trump, either one. I don't really care, because at the end of the day, here's what you need to be thinking about. You still, after whoever, regardless of who won, don't you still got to get your butt up and figure out how to pay them bills for your family? Or is Trump at your front door, or Biden at your front door saying, let me bring you a loaf of bread to feed your kids? So miss me with all that bull crap. Get out of here, please. Get out of here. So come with me and think. Here's what he said. And don't think that I'm going against your president, because I'm just telling some truth. Here's what actually happened that shook the markets up. The big institutions didn't do a lot of investing, so it left the market with nothing more than a lot of retail traders invested into the Forex market last week, which of course, they caused it to spasm because they're all up and down, right? But the big institutions is sitting on the sideline because they scared. What are they scared about? Uncle P, Fundamental News Foundation. Trump had also not only threatened to pull troops out of Iran, but he threatened to go to war. Now, he got 2 months left in his presidency, and this dude is talking about starting a war with Iran. But then he wasn't finished with that. The next thing he also was talking about is he's also talking about starting up another tariff war with China. What do you think that's going to do to economies all across the globe when the two biggest economies in the world are going back to war again with tariffs? Then you're starting a war with with Iran. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Oh, but it wasn't done. There was some other things. Let me see. Sanctions. Then, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. And this ain't your president. This is just how it is. Some of you guys, and let me help you with a little something, little free advice since you tuned in. Because I can go on and on about fundamental news, but just off of those alone, can you understand why the institutions were holding off on trading so the market was left to retail traders last week? Retail traders is beginners, okay? Retail traders are people who are just trend line price action only. Now can you understand why your trades didn't work out? Because our markets were not trending the way they normally should have, because the big institutions wasn't pushing a lot of their money around in there because they understood the fundamentals. So therefore, they weren't willing to put a whole lot of money into the markets, and that's why they weren't being moved around. Check the S&P 500 and the Dow on your own Forex broker if they offer it, and you'll see it for yourself. It was just kind of leaning. It didn't go anywhere. And because that wasn't going anywhere, all the other money, certain pairs wasn't moving. It just wasn't going to happen. However, I will teach you this. If you like trading the CAD, fundamentals, if you like trading the CAD, and those who are in the signals group, you can tell. It didn't push in our direction as strong as I wanted it. We did make some pips off of it, of course, but I told you, let's just take what we got, okay? I'd rather take 10 to 20 pips than to try to go for 60 and then end up losing the trade altogether. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So here's what happened, and go check your own charts if you're not part of our group. You can verify this for yourself. Here's what I understood. I understood that every Friday, CAD is going to be spiking in one direction or another. Why? Because if you check your news app, regardless of whether you use MyFX Book or any others, you'll see that on Friday, every Friday, guess what comes out? Oil inventory. Oil inventory. Write that down. I'm helping you out. Oil inventory news comes out every Friday. Fundamental news. And who has big involvement in oil? The Canadians. And that is why when the oil news comes out, if it's positive, the CAD will shoot up. If it's negative, the CAD will shoot down. Go look at your charts and you tell me if you don't see that every pair, the GBP CAD, the NZD CAD, and the pair that we were in, the AUD CAD. Go check your charts for yourself on Friday and tell me if you didn't see that thing spike up. See, I knew that news was coming out on it. I don't, watch what I'm saying. I don't have to know the news in advance. I'm not telling you, oh, well, you need to understand all fundamental news. You don't even have to understand it. I don't understand what was coming out. I just know it's coming. And therefore, I just know I ain't going to trade it on a Friday. Or if I am, I'm going to trade it very lightly because the chances are it could spike one direction or another. And you check your charts and you tell me if you didn't see it, that thing spiked up on Friday. Just as I told my team. So the few pips you got, 10, 20 pips, whatever it was, praise God for 10 or 20 pips. I like 10 or 20 pips didn't have loss because it shot up, I think, 49 pips upwards against the trade that we were in. We were in a sell position. It shot up about 49 pips. So we could have took our 10 to 20 pips, pocket that money, and call it a day and be grateful. Or we could have been foolish saying, nah, I'm going to hold this because I like price action. Price action is telling me this thing going down in the club. It's going down. And you would have been a price action fool because you knew nothing about what happens on Fridays. Fundamental. But because I had learned to start watching the markets and then I started associating, okay, if the CAD is really strong on oil and oil news comes out every Friday, no wonder the CAD kept spiking every Friday. Duh. Mind-blowing, isn't it? Amazing, isn't it? CAD has strong associations with oil. Oil news comes out on Friday. No wonder the CAD spikes every Friday. Oh. No wonder I've been losing trades on Friday when I'm trading the CAD. You think? You think? Seeing this stuff is not being taught on any channel, as far as I have seen in Forex. So everybody's out there trying to scamper around and trying to find free indicators and see whose indicators you can steal and all these, which by the way, a lot of people are trying to steal indicators. You better stop because a lot of these indicators actually have viruses. just to let you know. So while you scouring the internet trying to see what your new free indicator you can put on your charts and you downloading it, you better stop being a fool. And then you wonder why your computer keep acting up. That's because they got you. As opposed to just paying the price, come on in, learn some real fundamentals, learn how to really trade these markets, and just think about how can you actually say that you're going to be a full-time trader when you refuse to do the right thing? That's like saying I'm gonna be a full-time doctor, but I ain't going to school. I'm just gonna get me some cutting utensils and find me a patient to cut on. You a damn fool. Lord forgive me. You a fool. And I ain't even gonna buy my utensils. I'm gonna go scour the internet to see who I can steal them from. And I'm gonna be a doctor. You a fool. You're a fool. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. Call me a scammer, call me whatever. I don't care. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you really want to do it right. Invest in learning. Invest in stuff. Some things you invest in, you may learn a lot. Some things you invest in, you're going to learn a little. It's okay. Everything can add up to your success as a full-time Forex trader. But if you keep trying to nickel and dime your way through, no wonder you're struggling. And this lesson alone, which is free to you at no cost, hopefully it's going to help you rethink how you're seeing the charts. So that now because I really should have done this video in my office, because again, I showed my students my little whiteboard, which I stayed up last night and I did that too. See, I do all my fundamental analysis. It literally takes about maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I got my little whiteboard, a little $10 whiteboard. I think I paid 10 or 15 bucks, less than 20 bucks for it at Walmart. And I got me a little whiteboard with a dry erase marker. And every week I go to the app and I say, okay, what big news is coming out? Now notice this, I don't have to know what it is. I don't have to understand it. I just need to know it's there and coming. And what we did for our students, and if you want to sign up, here's what you need to do. Don't be coming in and talking about, I'm gonna be a full-time trader, and you refuse to do the tutorial steps, because we actually provided something extra for you. We actually give you a list in the tutorial printouts, a list of different things to look for on each currency pair. So when you look on your MyFXBook app or whatever app you want to use, and you say, okay, I see interest rates news coming out on whatever pair, you simply pull up that piece of paper that we gave you that you print out, and you just add and look, hey, if this is on this list for this pair, I just need to know, shy away from trading it until that news pass. Or if I am going to trade it lightly. See, we gave you the tools. So you see it on the app, you match it up to the paper. If you see it on the paper, you know, oh, I might want to stay away from this pair. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on now. You can't be a full-time anything if you're trying to do it short-term. You're trying to find every shortcut you can, but you're trying to be a success. You can't shortcut your way to success. You got to do it right, people. Everybody wants what Uncle P drive and where he lives and what he got and this and that, and other people who's successful in Forex. You want what we got, but you ain't willing to do what we do, even when the pathway is laid out for you. And then you'd rather debate people while you're broke rather than to listen and learn from those who's further ahead of you. And this is one of those. So if you want to be Mr. and Mrs. Price Action King only, man, that dude, man, whatever, bro, whatever. Okay. Again, I'm living my life. Matter what's that song saying? I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. So you can debate me all day long, but I'm here to bless those who need a blessing. A person who out there, even if it's just one person who tuned into this video and you learned something that's going to help you reshape your thinking. Because literally, you don't have to be a fundamental analyst to understand, well, here's what the interest rates are going to be and this and that and this. You don't have to know that. All I'm telling you is simply this. When you're marking up your charts, just add in one extra piece of ingredients to the gumbo pot. You put the sausages in, you put the chicken in, you put the seasoning in, but you ain't put a crab leg in that bad boy. Now, I don't eat crab. I'm allergic to crab, but a lot of people eat crab, so I'm just using that as an example. You didn't put the crab leg in, because that's the main part when people like gumbo. They like them crab legs and that seafood and that shrimp. You understand what I'm saying? So you done put chicken in there, you done put sausages in there, but you ain't put no shrimp and you ain't put no crab legs. So a lot of people ain't gonna eat your food. Therefore, you ain't gonna be a success in the market when you're trying to sell your gumbo. Why? Because you're missing something. Yes, doing the same thing in Forex, partner. Here's what you're missing. You marked up your charts. You did all the analysis. You did all this and that. You spent hours on it, but you missed one seasoning. And that was pull up an app that gives you weekly news. And what's nice about why I use my FX book is because I can see what the news events are for the entire week before the trading week begins. Therefore, I've already covered the fundamentals in a matter of minutes. It takes me about maybe 10 minutes a day. In a day, and I'm done with my fundamental analysis for the week. I don't have to know what it's coming out, or let me rephrase that. I know what's coming out, but I don't have to understand all the details of it. I just need to know, is this a pair that I want to trade this week? If I know the Feds are going to be talking interest rates this week, chances are I might not want to trade the US dollar too heavy. See, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. I don't have to know. It's kind of like this. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story because I'll tear the whole story up. But I heard a story about a man who was walking down the street and he fell into a hole. And he got out the hole. Like some of y'all, you fell into a hole. You get out the hole and then you come back the next week and you walk and fall into the same hole. And then he got up, dust himself off, and he walked the next week and fall into the same hole. How many times are you going to fall into the hole before you figure out, stop falling into the hole? Now, here's part two of that I'm paraphrasing. Okay, here's what some of y'all do. Well, let me investigate why the hole is there. First of all, what that hole got to do with you other than hurting you? See, I don't need to know why the hole was there. I don't need to keep walking into the hole. I just need to do what? One word. Avoid the hole. Do you hear what I'm saying? I only need to know to avoid the hole. So why don't you walk like in the story? They say the man finally woke up to his stupor and decided to walk across the street, period, and just stay away from the hole. So for me, I don't need to know, like I know the FOMC. The Feds are going to be talking their Fed minutes this week. I don't need to know what they're talking about. I don't even care. As a Forexer, I don't care. I just need to know that if I am trading the US dollar, and I'm in profit, I might want to lighten up my position. Or if I'm thinking about getting into a position right before the announcement, maybe I need to hold off until after the announcement is over. You see how simple that is? Avoid the hole. So I'm not telling you got to sit there and spend hours upon hours breaking down fundamental analysis. It's a hole in the ground. Walk around it. Avoid it, and then come back. How mind-blowing is that, Uncle P? Oh my God, some of these things you teach is just earth-shattering. No, it ain't. It's just common sense. But what I told people, and I'll leave you with this, I'll leave you with this. I've learned that common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. That's why people do some of the dumbest things, and then they get mad at somebody else for the results. Because they don't like taking responsibility for their own. Because why? Common sense, it ain't common. If you like my video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up or whatever. And have a great trading week. You know Uncle P loves you. And by the way, if you do join, I beg you, come to class on Tuesday. You'll be able to sign up today. You have instant access. You don't have to wait for anybody to email you any confirmations. You're going to create your own username and password. And when you do, sign up for it. And that's only with the Simplicity system, where you get the classes with me mentoring you week after week. And some of you guys who's in this chat, you can testify, man, I hang around for the longest just talking with y'all. Just teaching and talking with y'all. I never rush my students. I answer questions. I stay back. I make sure that I'm trying to help every single person. I don't rush people because I'm really here to help you. But if you come to class this Tuesday, I got something for you. I stayed up all last night, 3:30 in the morning, just working. They do something for y'all. I got something special for y'all on Tuesday. So make sure you come to class. Now, you may say, well, I work during that time. Okay, no problem. Don't worry about it. It will be recorded. But I got something special for y'all. I love talking to y'all, okay? All right? All right, cool. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Bye.